Hello, everybody. It's the live you've all been waiting for with the birthday girl, Miss Cindy Pitcock. And I am going to put the focus on her today. I'm super, super excited to be sharing this with all of you. And I didn't get myself all pretty for this, but I knew she would look so pretty that it really wouldn't matter what I looked like, right? So I want to welcome all of you that are just tuning in. Some of you know Cindy's story, some of you don't. Let me scoot back here a little. We're in a messy boardroom, so excuse the scenery. I wanted to bring Cindy on today. I've been wanting to do this since about the 1st of January, and I'm going to change the focus here a minute. The 1st of January, I said, we're going to make a big, we're going to tell you a big story. I see it. I got junk everywhere. Sorry, guys. But the reality was, I've been trying to get my throat back. I've been struggling with this cough and not able to talk or go live for so long now. But I have a cough drop in. We're going to let her talk anyway and tell you her story. So, yes, everybody's saying hi to Cindy Pitcock. So here's what happened a year ago. And I'll let Cindy kind of share with you exactly what happened. But basically, we were on a trip. And we were doing some meetings and helping some people. And she said she wanted to come out. We got back home. She said, could I come out and talk to you guys for a minute? And when she got here, she had some horrible news for us, which we were not excited to hear at all, that there was nothing that we could do. Okay, I'm just going to move this completely over here by her. How's that, guys? Now can you see her? Okay, now you can see Cindy. That's the most important part anyway. She had some horrible news and wanted to share with us that she had been to the doctor, and basically the doctor said that there was nothing that they could do. She had a bad health report, and she wanted to share with us that she had gotten her affairs in order. They said there was just a limited time. We really were like, let's celebrate Christmas early. What was the date? November 13th?
It was November 14th. It was right before Thanksgiving that I found out. Now, they didn't find out for 5 or 6 days later.
She wanted to make sure we were done with our road tour and speaking. That was just perfect of her. Anyone that knows her, that's exactly what she would do. So we got back home, and it was terrifying. Like, I was not just terrified, but heartbroken and shocked. And we've been in natural medicine for a long time. Cindy's like the most healthiest person. So I don't walk. She walks her dog every day, right?
I did, yes.
I don't always eat perfectly healthy, but I was keto, and that's supposed to help. She was too. Like, there were so many things that we were doing that I was like, this cannot be true. I remember that day you came out and talked to us and said, let's don't tell your family or the kids. We ended up telling everyone on Thanksgiving. It was the worst Thanksgiving ever. And then we went to the doctor together, and I remember sitting there that day. What exactly did your doctor tell you that day when we were in the meeting with family only in the boardroom?
Well, she had told me when I went to her I just had some stuff, and I thought, I wonder what's going on. And so I went to her not thinking, that it was bad, and she suspicioned and had me come back 2 days later. They were traveling, they were speaking. Why would I get them involved until I knew what was going on? I wouldn't.
Of course not. Don't mess up our day. Make sure we have a good day.
So, besides, if your son is 1,000 miles away, you want to tell him all of this and he'll drive 100 miles an hour home. No, that is not me and many mamas. But she had told me all this, and that, Cindy, you've got a limited time to live. Get your affairs in order. Put everything in Dave's name. And I'm going, what? And I mean, I thought it was the healthiest thing in the world. And, but I listened to her. I went back and took all the tests. They did MRI, CT, the works, my body was checked top to bottom. And she absolutely told me that, can I say what I had? Or
Yeah, you can say.
She told me I had stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and it had spread to my bones, my stomach, this and that. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you just can't be right.
I think she even said like 2 ribs,
colon.
Yeah.
And so she told me that Thursday, and then I waited till they got home, and she wanted to talk to all of us. So we went back over, and I didn't think she was going to tell them all of this. I thought this was just for me, but no, she said the whole thing. And I had pretty much told them I wasn't quite as graphic as she was, my doctor was. And we all just sat there, and I did do what she said. I went and put everything in Dave's name, and I took care of my business. But as she sat there and talked, by this time I had had 4 or 5 days. I have to consume things. I had to have time to pray. I had to have time to think. I had to have time within Cindy, and I had that time, and I'm grateful. By that time, it was a Monday, a week later, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't have to believe everything you say. I'm 71 years old. People have told me stuff that isn't true before.
Today you're 70.
I'm 72.
Happy
yes.
birthday. We're celebrating the birthday she was never supposed to have.
And so I'm loving today. But so we sat there and listened. It was terribly shocking. And Brooklyn was with us, my granddaughter. I wish she hadn't been. And she left the room crying. And I thought, why would you tell anybody that? But anyway, that was the beginning. And that was November 14th. And that I got the diagnosis. And your head spins without question. But I had had time to consume it. Had a long session of prayer. I'm a woman of great faith. And I was simply told, you will be fine. You have a lot of work to do. Listen. And I thought, okay. And I just knew he meant he'd give me the tools. I had to listen for the tools. And, oh, Lord, were we blessed.
We didn't know at the time that we would be so blessed. I remember we made calls to Mayo Clinic.
Everywhere.
Mesa. It doesn't matter how much money you have when you don't have your health. I can remember looking at her at the doctor saying, we're self-employed. We'll take her anywhere. Mm-hmm. We'll go anywhere. Nothing matters. I'll sell my house. I'll sell everything I have. We're going to get the best doctors, the best treatment. Do you remember what she said to me?
She said, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to help her. Go home. Just let her enjoy and just eat fudge. That's exactly what she said.
She said, Barb, you're grieving and you're only making it worse. For Cindy.
Yep, and that wasn't true, and I knew it wasn't true. By that time, I had taken care of what was inside. I have two thoughts of being cured and of being healed. Cured is when a doctor brings you tests and says, you are miraculous. I don't say I'm that at all. Absolutely not. Healed is when you know here in your spirit that I'm fine. And I knew that from day one.
I did not.
No. This girl needed
Let me
some
just
help.
tell you, strong, positive, motivated, whatever. No, I was a train wreck. I couldn't even imagine our life without you in it, and neither could our children or all of my siblings. There's about 50 of us here in town. Thanksgiving was a sob fest.
Well,
and
it was
you
hard.
told your doctor, I know the right people. Mm-hmm. No, exactly what she said. You just don't know these kids and the people that they know. And we're in natural medicine, and I was just like, oh my God, Cindy, just don't even argue with her. And Cindy was right. And we made some phone calls, and you said to your doctor, he said, there's nothing I can do. Well, we got to an oncologist.
We went through that. I think that first week was the most confusing. If you've ever been faced with some sort of dreadful diagnosis, whatever disease you think it is, it's the deciding, making a plan, sticking to it, and believing in it. And we didn't do that. We called everywhere. We've been in natural health.
I wanted to take her to Arizona because Chance lives there, and we had a grandbaby coming.
And we didn't know that yet. We didn't know that.
We found that out on Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that deciding and trying to think, how can I best help myself? And that's when you go to a quiet place and think and pray and think, okay. And we, through this marvelous friend, we found an oncologist. World renowned, and I can't say his name, but I thought, and I went there thinking, I will not do chemo, it's too hard on your body. Walked in, he had on a yellow shirt, never forget it. We thought I'm dead, and I didn't, but they did, thought I was dead in 8 weeks, and he just sat down.
He said, there's nothing I can do for you, but I can buy you time. Mm-hmm. And I remember you said, you give me 1 year, I'll get 5. And I was like, oh my gosh, this woman's unstoppable.
And he just said, he said, that's just not true. You're not going to die. He said, and we talked about that, and he said, we'll get you out 5 years, then we'll get you out another 5 years. And he said, you'll probably die of old age. And I thought, I'm ready for that. And I just loved him. And that's not coincidence. I mean, that was a tool put in our path. And I did the chemo. It was nasty. It was awful. It was everything you thought it would be. But, and he told us that. And 7 months of hair growth, yes, after chemo. But he was delightful, and he still is. And I don't see him now again till February. But one thing, I've always been a strong taker of natural products. Like I said, we've taken them for years, and so I continued all of that. I continued with my my ginger, my turmeric, my selenium, my minerals, my everything, my vitamins, everything I always take just for a good, healthy body to keep me strong. But Dave, my son, who has been in oils, essential oils for years, we've had it clear back when they owned their own company. And he's, of course, my researcher. He went and researched, and he came and he said, Mom, you really need to be on CBD. I said, what's CBD? And we had a chat, and I said, okay, let's get it. He said,
Mom, it's cannabinoids, that's all.
And I said, okay. I said, let's get some. And he already had some. He said, I already did. I said, okay. And I started taking it. Now, it was early in my chemo, and one of the biggest problems is your stomach. You either have nausea or you have terrible burning, acidity. Oh, it's just miserable. The rest I could almost do. But I will tell you, now will this happen for everybody? I can't say it, but within 3 to 5 minutes of putting those drops in, my stomach would settle down. Now, there isn't anything in the world that makes you feel better than that. And I thought, holy moly, this is good. And then I had the cream, too, that I'd put on my feet. We also had me doing frankincense, the most magical oil. Said to put it on your armpits. Hey, I put it everywhere. If it's good for the armpit, it's good for the breast, the effective breast. Hey, navel, it was everywhere. And peppermint, which is just good. And what was the other one? Peppermint. I'll think in a minute. But the frankincense, and I use it morning and night. I still do. I probably always will. But I started on that CBD oil, and honestly, it helped my stomach so much. I wouldn't take the full dose, but every time it would kind of recur, I would use it again. And I thought, this is amazing. People need to know about this, but I didn't know enough. But then we went for blood work. I think you were with me the first time after that.
And she's never told her doctor this,
oh,
right?
He doesn't know him.
Doctor doesn't have any idea Nana's doing CBD behind the scenes.
I might tell him he can have the glory. I don't care. I have the life. But he looked at my numbers, my blood numbers, and he said, this is amazing. He said, your numbers have dropped in half in less than a month. He said, I've never seen this. And he hugged me, he high-fived Barb, and we just...
he was shocked.
He told me what the numbers were and how they dropped.
Wasn't it 1,500 to...
Well, the very first time it dropped down to like 600. It dropped more than half. And they do one breast cancer antigen and then whole body, I think. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to any of that. I just know what I know in my spirit. But it was, once again, a tool. And so then we went all about our business. I continued taking the CBD for all that... another month, and do the blood work, and went back, and then they had dropped even more. That's where they had gone from like 1,500 to down in the hundreds, and all of them he just shook his head. He said, I've never seen anything like this
And Dave said, Mom, tell him what you're doing.
No.
She said, no, just wait.
Well, I didn't want him to, I didn't wanted nothing negative. I wanted no negative from any, and he wouldn't do that. My other one would. She told me, ain't gonna help, but he wouldn't do that. And
yeah, your first doctor said she wasn't gonna treat you if you were gonna go do the natural way.
No, she wouldn't. And she wanted me to have fudge.
She didn't even want you to have your records when we went to get you some vitamin C shots.
We tried vitamin C for a while. We did it that first week. We were crazy people, but
we're still crazy.
Once
people.
I got on my
well.
path, but I can't say, that I'm cured. I don't say that at all. Now I know I'm healed. I've known that since about the 5th day. But when I was told I have work to do, this is part of it. If you have anyone out there that is, and it's not just, it's any disease. I honestly think the CBD just knows what to do to help your body. And for me, it was just miraculous. The stomach alone it allowed you to eat and drink and keep your body strong, which you have to do, and that's the last thing you want to do if your stomach is upset. But I used it faithfully every day. I still do. Probably will all the rest of my life. And it just addresses so many issues. But if you have anyone that is, fearful or diagnosed or, I won't tell you it will help them. I think it will help them. I won't tell you it will cure them. I'm really interested to see what he has to say when I do my next blood work.
We should do a Facebook Live
when
you tell him what you're taking.
I think it will be amazing. It already is amazing, but Mine's just a story, and it's a story of what happened for me, that instead of picking out my burial clothes 8 weeks later.
Yeah, we're planning a funeral.
And we're here today, another birthday, and I'm just so blessed. I'm a great-grandmother of little Lola Scott. The perfect gift for being alive. Life is blessings over and over again, and I'm not saying what I was diagnosed with was, but as a family, it's changed us.
It has changed us.
It's changed us all. Every life you touch, when you've been changed like that, you help somebody, and it's just. I think that's part of the work too. I think finding all these things and getting myself through it and dragging this one through it, that I just never doubted.
I found out I'm a very emotional person.
I just was, and I don't know, there's one scripture I stand on. I'll say one, I have to do this, and it's Matthew 11:23, and it talks about you could build yourself a mountain, and on this mountain, every night, I still do it, anything that is in my life, I would put any cancer cells, any bad breast tissue, I just went through top to bottom, anything that might be affected, and put it on the mountain, and you can ask God to command that to be dropped into the sea. And the only part you have is to believe and have no doubt in your heart. I stood on that, I just stood on it, and I still do. And I think that can be with anything, but for me, the CBD was the total, it just turned things around. I wasn't well, and man.
You were sick as hell.
I'm
telling you, when she
struggled.
took that first drop of CBD, I was in the car, we were in Salina, Kansas, and it was a struggle to get her in and out of the car. Because of the fluid, there was about 1 liter a day at one point. We were pulling fluid off.
For some reason, this breast drained into my stomach. Not stomach. He said, not stomach, Cindy, you don't have stomach cancer. He said it's abdominal fluid. And he said, as this heals, so will that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to believe you. And he was right. But boy, did we go through some in the meantime. Honestly, at first, I had to go to Hayes once a week. We kept it there once a week, and I would just get to looking like I was 8 months pregnant. I could hardly move my legs.
And her legs were so big around, and her ankles, that she couldn't walk from the cancer fluid.
And you couldn't hardly breathe. And so finally, we learned about a Plerex catheter. You can slip right under your, right under your skin, and you could drain daily. And we did that then for months.
As a family, we met at noon, and we drained off liters of yellow cancer fluid. If you've never done it, lucky you.
No.
But it didn't take long.
No.
It didn't take long after you started this regimen.
No.
The cancer fluid dried up. And if you want to know everything she was taking, it was different things from different places. There was one person here in town, they were doing a research project, and it actually became FDA approved. But there were a lot of support products. Nothing cured anything. We don't want to name any companies. We don't want to make any claims. But, I see people in the bathroom at Walmart with a turban on and a mask, and I say, do you have cancer? Call this lady. Because I am at trade shows, and I say, Cindy, I have a lady in my booth. She's crying. She only has weeks to live. Tell her what happened for you. Because, you just don't know who might be watching this. Like, if you have someone that you love that has cancer, it's really hard to go to them with your natural, you should try this. Because they're going to think you're trying to sell them, or like you're some kind of I don't even tell people at trade shows unless they ask me, because I don't want to be a carnival barker about a product. But how do you not tell someone that's struggling, that's sick, that you might have some hope for them? And this woman is walking freaking hope. Now, Cindy, the one day I was thinking you were so sick. We were in Salina, and we didn't have the flavored CBD. It was back when it was...
Tasted like weeds that you eat with cows.
Yeah, weeds that you eat with cows. It smelled up the car even. Like
I'm a farm girl.
It was full spectrum. People argue back and forth, full spectrum, isolate. Now we do isolate.
Tasted like silage smells, if you're any farmer at all. Pewy.
It was disgusting. And she was so nauseous, I finally got her in the car. I text Dave, I said, worst day ever. She's so sick. Not sure how we're going to drive 80 miles home. And we were doing this every Tuesday. And then drain fluid on Wednesday. And then she lost her eyesight. And then go see the eye doctor on Thursday. Like, just literally all she wanted was one day without a poke or a treatment or her eye sewed shut or whatever they were doing. And that day, I remember thinking, yeah, she's good now. how are we going to get home? And I just remember we were on Santa Fe Street and you took them drops out, and I'm just like over there like, oh my God. She puts them under her tongue. You held them there. We went about, 5 miles to I-35?
I don't know.
We got to Brahms. You literally looked at me and said, I think I'm good now. Do you want to buy Brahms?
I was hungry. Honestly, it's that fast for me. Now, will it be for everybody? But that gets in there, and it just settled my stomach, and it did it for months. There isn't anything that, if you can keep your stomach settled, you can keep your nutrients going in, you can keep your supplements going in, I think your body has a chance to fight. You give yourself the chance to fight. And I just believe in it. And I think this, from my very first session of prayer, I think this is part of my work too, is to tell you, you decide, you ask your questions, you choose, but I'm here. And they said I wouldn't be, so I think that's something.
That is something. So last year on her birthday, because I believed it was her last birthday, we literally had cards and flowers. And I mean, there was more cards and flowers at your house on your birthday last year than there probably would have been if we had a funeral.
I think that's
because
true.
The whole world was praying and the whole world was encouraging, and it was such a amazing day to celebrate your life last year, because sometimes we take those birthdays for granted. But she did say to me yesterday, I don't care if it's my birthday. I don't care how old I am. I'm not complaining about any birthdays. Like, we're just so excited to be celebrating another birthday. And so tonight we're going to go to our favorite restaurant. We're going to celebrate big, but we're celebrating every day. And hi, Glenda McDougall. She knows that feeling of the grandma. She became a grandma about the same
that
time.
Precious baby on
Oh my goodness.
He's so cute.
But Cindy had a goal to live to see this first great grandbaby that we had born into our family. And she has 2 big brothers, but we had never been there and had, a new grandbaby be born. And it was our first grandbaby and Cindy's great grandbaby. And that was kind of her goal. And then now, I asked her today, I'm flying to Vegas in the morning, and I texted her and I said, hey, my goal is to take you to Las Vegas to Celine Dion. You can hold Lola Scott all week. And she's not quite ready to go run around Las Vegas for a week, but she's gonna be.
I will be soon. I know I'm not 100%. I'm ready to get out and start walking my dog again, except that it's 18 degrees out, and who would? But I feel so strong, so healthy, just so at peace with the world. But I also know I need to tell people, just try it. What can it hurt? I mean, if there's anything out there that, and any disease, I honestly think it's the number one trending everything right now, and I think there's a reason for it. And
So just in case people are asking, and they can always reach out to you or get with a person if a friend shared this video with you, how much CBD did you take on a regular basis? Like, how many milligrams do you think? If we have a 750 milligram bottle, how many droppers full a day do you think you took when you first got sick?
when I first started, all we had was 350, and it
Okay.
was the
stinky
the
kind.
stinky kind. But I took that for months, and I was happy to have it. And I would use it 2 or 3 times a day,
So that
depending
would have
on my
been-
stomach.
So twice a day with 350 milligram would be 1 dose of the 750, because 750 is a lot more powerful.
Right.
So you were taking about 750 a day.
At least, yeah.
And then you took it, as far as pain, that's one thing we didn't talk about,
True.
Cindy. This doctor that day said,
Oh, gosh,
it's
yes.
it's in a couple of ribs, your back, she was telling her how it's like everywhere. She said,
And I was going to hurt.
it's going to hurt, she said. This is going to be so painful. So we're going to have to hand you the narcotics. Like, we can't call them in. We're going to hand you this, and don't you let it get ahead of you. And she said, now, these are strong. You might even just need a half of one, but you need to be on them. How many narcotics have you taken during this bone cancer, breast cancer, everywhere battle for pain?
None. She handed us the prescription that night. They all got her news, and we went and filled it. 180 caplets, big old bottle. And
It'd be like morphine.
It was
it was
the
like the
second
strongest.
highest dosage you could take, and she said, you're going to need every bit of it. And I thought, now that kind of alarmed me a little. I thought, oh, I don't think so. And but I went.
She didn't know you.
I bought it, and honestly, I never needed it. Once the CBD came.
And you took turmeric under your tongue.
I took the powder of turmeric and ginger under my tongue. Ginger helps with digestion, turmeric with pain and inflammation. And it was a 1-2 kick, I think that. And then the CBD, and I just never, honestly, the only thing that happened during any of it was I had a tooth abscess, and that hurt. And I did go get that worked on, but other than that, no.
But you told me you even put the CBD on your abscess. You were putting that stuff on everything.
Oh yeah. I would put it on it in clove oil. Clove oil is good if you have a toothache. But I would do the CBD and just a little oil and put it where, along the gum line and everything, and it would stop that pain too. Before I could, they wouldn't work on it until I took some antibiotics because my jaw was out to here, and quite charming. I couldn't see.
No hair. No hair. No eye. They sewed her eyes shut.
I was a beauty.
And then her cheek puffed up.
I was a doll. But,
and you had some fluid going on. Like, this woman's been through the ringer. But look at her now. Like, oh my God, you look good.
But that's true. I had forgot about your salina story that I took at that and the CBD, and I was hungry.
The only thing that could come to my mind when I saw her so sick from the bathroom to the car and then wanted Brahms, what's that song? And then I saw her face, now I'm a believer. Like, when I think of that day, and I wasn't a big CBD believer, like, I'm new to this as well, but it was crazy, the transformation.
Yes, it was.
And I literally told Dave, like, I don't know what's in that blankety blank, but it's amazing. And it just helped her so much. So
it helped that part, and what we didn't know till the month later when I got the blood work done and the oncologist was astounded. I didn't know what it was doing inside my body, that it was working in there too. And I don't know. That's my story. And
so you were using drops? Mm-hmm. Okay, turmeric and ginger, we know. You were using the drops, a cream, and a rollerball. And how often?
The drops I would use during chemo. I would use it as my stomach kind of asked for it. And it was usually 2 or 3 times a day, but not a full dropper. I just kind of measured it out. And under the tongue, 30 to 60 seconds, and then swallow it. When it was the bad tasting stuff, you drank some water after it. But it was it's an acquired taste. You actually get kind of used to it.
Now it's just light peppermint.
It's a good taste. But I did that. Then I would use the cream as the carrier oil for my oils, and put the cream armpits, breast, wherever, navel, on my feet, and then morning when I got up and night after my shower, I would put all of that on and then put the oils on. Frankincense, I think I bathed in frankincense. There's a reason. I think it was brought to the manger. But it truly is. It's a miraculous oil. And the peppermint and lavender I put on the back of my neck, basically for relaxation before bedtime. And, it's so wonderful. And I would do that twice a day on my feet and my body. And then with the CBD I would use throughout the day as I needed it. I have heard from everybody that it also helps tremendously with sleep. I never had trouble sleeping. And so it probably was helping with that too. But now I really take the 1,000, is it milliliters?
Milligrams.
And milligrams.
So that would be, if you've got the 750 bottle, that would be...
one a day.
So if you have the 750 bottle, that would be 2 doses would be 1,500, or a dose and a half would be 1,000 milligrams a day. Yeah. So basically, you'll see when you get your CBD on the back of the bottle, it'll tell you how many milligrams in a half of a dropper. And doctors say you need like 25 milligrams a day. So 25 milligrams a day for 30 days would be a bottle of 750 milligram CBD. And if you want to do 1,000 like Cindy is, you would do 1.5 doses. So now she's doing it preventative. There's a lot of research out there that says that it's been known to shrink tumors, and we're not going to make that claim, but you go do your own research. Not trying to say that anything cured anything, but I am a believer. Like, I'm literally looking at this woman like, I'm going to take it every day just to be preventative. And I've learned so much from you, Cindy, just about strength and attitude and being stubborn and not taking what everyone else says and just making a decision and a commitment. You've
Yes.
done amazing.
Well, and I think 90% of anything that you face is mental. I think we all know that. I am of German-Russian heritage. We're very stubborn people. I think it's a wonderful quality, honestly. I think it gets you through your life. And you don't have to believe what a doctor tells you. You know, there's other avenues. Go look, go research, go see what there is, but listen to your body and listen to what it's telling you. And I just knew in my very soul, I just knew. But I tell you what, it was more than I ever anticipated that I would have to go through. And I look back on it and we just laugh. I said,
We laugh now.
for months I couldn't even walk out to my own mailbox and get my mail. I can't believe I was that weak, but I was. I couldn't take my own trash out. I'd sit in the garage, and when they came over, they'd take the trash out. I just was, you just don't believe how far down you can go. And maybe I needed to go there to come back to tell a story. I don't know. I'm just glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. She's the most amazing lady on the planet. And I don't know if any of you know somebody that's sick, but if so, if this could give them even just a little bit of hope, even if they wouldn't take the products that Cindy took, just the message and the fact that, half of it's mental, more than, I think it's 99% mental, 1% sweat, but definitely going to give God all the credit, because Cindy did that from the very beginning. She just said, I know that he's going to heal me. And she called her sister every week and prayed. But we're just so thankful that we had support products to give her health, give her body what it needed to heal itself and to have her healthy today. So I've been promising this Facebook Live since January 1.
Right.
On January 1, I should have humbled myself, but I said I was going to have the best year yet. My dog's going to knock over the table on us. Thanks, Tyson. I was going to have the best year yet, and I was going to get this birthday body. Well, little did I know I would get pneumonia, 3 steroids, and my face would blow up like a balloon. My sister was laughing at me. She said, I was with you for 5 days and gained 5 pounds. What the heck? And I said, it's the steroids. But you know what, guys? Sometimes you don't plan for certain things to happen to you. You just have to roll with it. And I will tell you, we do have an end to some amazing products that we can get you some samples of or get you some free to try. Just don't be afraid to share this with anyone that you know that's struggling, because our goal would be that Cindy would have an impact on them, that they could believe that they too could celebrate another birthday. So tons of people are commenting here. I will let Cindy get on her Facebook and respond to all of you and all of your comments. If you have any questions, we will answer every one of them. Drop them in the comments. If you loved this live and you think someone could benefit from it, go down right below right now and hit share. Hope this inspires you if you are struggling, battling something with your health, because you guys, we can't keep it a secret. We got to share it with everyone. So happy birthday to Cindy. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Drop your questions in the comments. She'll respond to all of them. She loves helping people. And whoever invited you to watch this Facebook Live can get you the information that you need. So you guys have a great day. And we'll post all our pictures later when we're eating cake.
Oh, we're going to have cake.
We're going to have cake. Talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Happy
Bye-bye.
birthday, Cindy.
Thank you. And thank all of you.